What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Bee Gees. And once again, thank you to all the folks who've contributed to this deep dive, as well as to Lisa specifically for sharing Still Waters, the 1997 album we just started going through. And the second track on the album is I Surrender. So I wonder if this surrender is not as combative, that's not the right word, as built around conflict or fighting as it might seem. And indeed, you can willingly surrender yourself to give control to another if you feel safe, if you feel like you have been embraced or are in a strong connection and feeling with another person. But you can, of course, surrender after no longer being able to push back or fight back in a situation that is sort of contested or combative. So I wonder which side of the positive, negative, or willing and unwilling spectrums we're on. And in that regard, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the type of song that functions on multiple levels, maybe using visual concepts of surrender, but as it relates to emotions and feelings and interpersonal connections. So let's see what I can catch on a first listen. This is the Bee Gees. The song is I Surrender, and it's from their 1997 album, Still Waters.
From the highest tower, I will call you home. It's the same old story, not will find its own. You to me, conspiracy of the night, the heart that you want. Hampers to be black, thieves in the dark. You wanna be locked in chains, but you wind up on my side. What will be, will be.
sonically. Lyrically, I'm less certain. More on that in a moment. But yeah, I love the flavor. It does feel 90s. I feel like if you had played this for me and not told me, well, if not told me the artist or the decade, I would have immediately identified it as the Bee Gees. Again, some of those vocal flares and the really high, like, background flourish vocal, I feel like that's Barry. But I think I also would have been able to successfully identify this as a 90s tune, and it reminded me of, like, a Quincy Jones production or something. Like, it had some soul to it, it had some funk to it, but it also had a bit of a, like, R&B, maybe even a bit of trip hop sound to it, so it was a nice blend of some stylings that felt like what happened at the end of the 90s, or end of the 80s leading into the 90s, but then was even polished and refined a bit more as the 90s went on. I felt all that in the sonics, and I even noticed there was one or two points where it sounded like there was a bit of, like, turntablism, whether that was actually, like, turntablism or just some sounds that are meant to emulate the idea of, like, you know, crab scratching and so on. I feel like there was a bit of that in there. But I like the vocals, especially at the beginning, where they were maybe not whispered per se, but they were a bit subtle, and they had a bit of, like, low intensity to them. And then again, we had some vocal flourishes, which were, you know, just trademark, hallmark Bee Gees. But yeah, like, lyrically, I'm not quite sure what's happening. And, you know, there's reference to the, like, top of the tower. I'm not sure what that is. But it did feel like this is maybe more of a social, or, like, a bigger statement than just surrendering to another person emotionally. So maybe there is some of that in terms of, like, your willpower or your ability to fight for something emotionally. And I do think there was some reference to fighting. So again, that might not be literal. That could be about, you know, persevering or being willing to endure or carry a burden. But it did feel like maybe the subject, the focus, or the essence of the lyrics here was a bit broader and bigger, and maybe, you know, societal, beyond what I was thinking when I looked at the title, where I was thinking, again, if it's surrendering in a more negative way, it could just be like, I don't have the energy to fight anymore, fine, you win. Or in a more positive light, the idea that I give myself over to you because I'm comfortable with that, and I feel like I can trust that, or I have that type of connection with you. So I feel like, you know, maybe there's some of that there, but I think it went beyond that, even if that is relevant. So, nevertheless, a cool tune, and one, again, where, like, you can hear this is the Bee Gees, but you can also hear that it's not the late 60s, it's not the 70s, it's not even the 80s. You can feel the sonic evolution with this one. So, I very much enjoyed it. Thank you again to Lisa, and once again to all the folks who've been part of this Bee Gees deep dive, contributing releases, commenting on the videos, and enjoying the journey with me. So let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.